The cast of The Apprentice is running the world. Trump, the daughter, Omarosa, they run the world, man. Yo, man, this crazy.
Donald Trump just took a brutal beating from Chrisrock. The legendary comedian torched Trump so badly that even Melania couldn't handle it, breaking down and throwing a tantrum for the ages. Rock's savage roast left Trump fuming, the internet exploding, and MAGA fans scrambling for excuses. Let's break it down.
Trump is not playing, man. That's right. This time is totally different. He's working with the #1 African American in the world, the richest African American in the world, Elon Musk. That's right, he is African American. Elon got more kids than the Cleveland Browns.
Donald Trump getting roasted isn't exactly breaking news. It's practically a national pastime. But this time it wasn't just another late-night comedian or Twitter troll taking shots. It was Chrisrock, the comedy legend who can turn any meltdown, scandal, or billionaire tantrum into pure gold, just delivered a humiliation so ruthless, even Melania, usually as animated as a Madame Tussauds wax figure, couldn't contain herself. Let's face it, Trump has been the punchline of jokes for decades, from pretending to be a self-made billionaire, spoiler, he's not, to flexing his big, strong brain. Spoiler, it isn't. He's practically a walking setup for comedy. But this time, the roast hit differently. Not just because Rock delivered it with his signature precision, but because it struck Trump where it hurts the most, his ego. Scene. Rock steps onto the stage, mic in hand, eyes sparkling with that trademark mischief that signals someone's about to get verbally demolished. And that someone? America's favorite spray tan sore loser. With razor-sharp wit, Rock tore into Trump's reality TV leadership, his social media meltdowns, RIP, Twitter bird, and perhaps the greatest mystery of all, his ability to go bankrupt running casinos.
I'm playing! They got Elon, they gonna put him on a rocket ship. We call it Space Mex. Oh yeah! J-Lo's gonna marry Ben again just so she can stay in the country.
If you're enjoying, please subscribe. The audience exploded in laughter. Meanwhile, Trump's usual radioactive orange complexion reportedly shifted to an alarming shade of beet red. Then came the knockout blow. Rock compared Trump to a washed-up sitcom character. Think Al Bundy, but with 91 felony charges and an unhealthy dependence on spray-on hair. The room erupted. Trump, whose skin is thinner than a CVS receipt, reportedly lost it. Insiders claim he went into full meltdown mode, pacing around Mar-a-Lago like a wind-up toy running low on batteries. Maybe he called his lawyer. Maybe he called Rudy Giuliani, who, let's be honest, probably answered from the bottom of a bottle. Either way, panic mode was activated.
Thank you very much. Okay, but before we even get started, let's hey, the elephant in the room. President Trump's in the hospital from COVID, and I just want to say my heart goes out to COVID.
Trump's whole persona is built on the illusion of being untouchable. And yet, here was Chrisrock, effortlessly dismantling it in front of the world. Worse yet, Rock isn't just any comedian, he's the guy so lethal with his words that even Will Smith couldn't take it. Too soon. If Trump thought he could brush this off, he must have mistaken this for one of his rallies, where the crowd is about as diverse as a jar of mayonnaise. Naturally, the internet had a field day. Memes, tweets, and reaction videos flooded social media faster than Trump can yell, "Witch hunt."
That's exactly what happened. We got rid of bullies, a real bully showed up, and nobody knew how to handle it.
Even those who don't usually follow politics couldn't resist watching the former president get verbally bodied by one of the greatest comedians alive. And if Trump's past behavior is any indicator, he'll soon be rage posting on Truth Social, aka Twitter's irrelevant cousin, calling Rock a loser, a hack, and his personal favorite, unfunny. But let's be real, Trump getting mad at a joke is about as predictable as the sun rising. Chrisrock didn't just roast him. He did what America has been doing for years, laughing at the absurdity of a man who once stared directly at a solar eclipse and thought he was winning.
Everybody's worried. Everybody's worried. I mean, we got Luigi. We got Luigi, you know, and that's good. I really feel sorry for the family. I mean, everybody's fixated on how good looking this guy looks. If he looked like Jonah Hill, no one would care. They'd already given him the chair already. Be dead, okay?
Chrisrock didn't just poke fun at Trump's usual disasters, like the time he suggested nuking hurricanes or stared directly into a solar eclipse like a man trying to win a staring contest with the sun. No, this time, Rock aimed deeper. He hit Trump where it really stings. His desperate need to be taken seriously while doing nothing but cartoonishly ridiculous things. Think about it. This is a guy who tried to Sharpie his way out of a hurricane forecast, blatantly altering a map like a fourth grader trying to change their report card before their parents see it. A man who tossed paper towels at hurricane victims as if he were hosting some dystopian version of The Price is Right. A guy who, in front of cameras and medical experts, casually suggested injecting disinfectant to combat a deadly virus, like a deranged infomercial host peddling the world's worst life hack. And Chrisrock, being the razor-sharp comedian he is, wasn't going to let that slide. He took the absurdity of Trump's greatest hits and amplified it, showcasing just how bizarre and out of touch the former president truly is. Rock's comedy doesn't just rely on surface-level roasts, it thrives on exposing the absurdity lurking beneath the facade. He knows Trump isn't just a guy who says dumb things. He's a guy who says dumb things with absolute conviction, as though willing stupidity into reality through sheer force of confidence.
Nothing's gonna happen to Trump. Here's the crazy thing. It might just work out. Trump might work out. Yeah, I said it. Trump might work out. I mean, think about it this way. Bush was so bad, he gave us Obama.
Take the infamous Trump rally moments where he danced awkwardly to YMCA like a malfunctioning animatronic figure at a Chuck E. Cheese. Rock painted the picture perfectly, capturing the essence of a man so out of sync with reality that even his dance moves felt like they were operating on a different dimension. Or how about Trump's obsession with crowd sizes? Rock had a field day with that one, pointing out how Trump treats attendance numbers like a teenager lying about how many people showed up to their birthday party. No one had a bigger crowd than me. Sure, buddy, and no one lost the popular vote by a bigger margin while still claiming it was a landslide. But Rock didn't stop at just the obvious gaffes. He delved into the sheer pettiness that defines Trump's personality. The need to slap his name on everything like a desperate real estate agent who knows deep down the product isn't that good. Trump Tower, Trump Steaks, Trump University, each a testament to the idea that if you say something is great enough times, maybe people will start believing it. And of course, Rock didn't miss the golden opportunity to bring up Trump's legal troubles. The multiple indictments, the hush money scandal, the never-ending investigations. Each one proved that if Trump weren't a former president, he'd be a recurring character on Law and Order. Rock made it clear. Trump isn't just a chaotic politician, he's a walking SNL sketch, except the joke stopped being funny a long time ago. Rock's comedic takedown wasn't just about getting laughs, it was about holding up a mirror to the absurdity of an era where the most powerful man in the world operated with the logic of a reality TV contestant. And in true Chrisrock fashion, he left the audience both in stitches and shaking their heads, wondering how we ever let it get this far. And Melania? Oh, poor Melania. She's been trapped in this reality show nightmare for years. After all the side eyes, all the hand swats, and all the awkward help me gazes and photo ops, she finally snapped. Because if there's one thing Melania Trump cannot stand, besides, her husband, it's being dragged into his circus of humiliation. And this time, she wasn't just part of the joke, she was center stage. See, Rock's joke wasn't just about Trump, it was about the dynamic between Donald and Melania. If body language could file divorce papers, Melania's posture would have done it in 2017. Rock's roast exposed what we all kinda knew but never said out loud. Melania's been running the longest unpaid internship in First Lady history.
Be a war hero that got captured. vote for nobody that got captured. I want to vote for that got away.
Trump, who rarely, if ever, apologizes for anything, sounded like he's softening a little on McCain.
And certainly if there was a misunderstanding, I would totally take that back. But hopefully I said it correctly.
On the Kelly file, McCain's daughter Meghan couldn't be angrier.
My father has been in public office since before I was born, and this is one of the grossest, most disgusting comments I've ever heard, which is really saying something. I'm 30 years old. And it's because it's not just an attack on my father, it's an attack on all veterans, and it's an attack on all POWs.
She lost it. She threw a tantrum so massive, it probably registered on the Richter scale. Because for years, she's been coasting through this nightmare with designer sunglasses and vague statements about be best while actively plotting her escape plan. Now, let's be real. Melania Trump has always played the role of the reluctant hostage in this whole political sitcom. When she's not avoiding Trump's hand like it's covered in expired KFC grease, she's busy delivering the most deadpan, soul-drained speeches imaginable. Remember when she literally copied Michelle Obama's speech word for word like a high schooler who forgot about a book report? That's Melania in a nutshell. Trapped, detached, and perpetually confused about how she got here. And yet, somehow she's always managed to keep her emotions buried under 10 layers of Botox and sheer willpower until now. Chrisrock cracked the code. Because nothing, and I mean nothing, gets under Melania's skin more than the reminder that she's stuck playing the world's most awkward First Lady cosplay while pretending she enjoys her husband's company. But really, can we blame her? Let's take a moment to appreciate just how absurd this entire marriage is. Melania went from modeling to marrying a man who paints himself the color of a traffic cone and thinks the term stable genius applies to him. This is a guy who believes that exercise drains your body's energy like a 90s Tamagotchi, who thinks wind turbines cause cancer, who once tried to buy Greenland like it was on sale at Costco. This is what Melania wakes up to every morning. This is her life.
Can I help you?
Calm down, man. I missed the last category. Did you win?
No, we didn't win, all right?
Oh, that's a bummer.
So, when Chrisrock unleashed the roast, it wasn't just about humiliating Trump, it was about finally saying what everyone's been thinking. Melania is trapped, and it is hilarious. Of course, Trump, being Trump, didn't take it well. The man has two moods, rage tweeting, or, well, rage truthing now that he got booted from Twitter, and denying reality. And since his stubby little fingers have been busy trying to convince the world that he won an election he lost by 7 million votes, you can bet his reaction to Chrisrock was unhinged. He probably started with the usual greatest hits. Nobody's ever been treated worse than me. Chrisrock is failing. Fake news, many people are saying. And then, once that didn't work, he likely moved on to the classic Trump meltdown, frantically calling his lawyers, claiming defamation, and threatening to sue a comedian for doing what comedians do. And while Trump fumed, Melania erupted. Because let's be honest, Melania Trump is not here for damage control. This is the same woman who wore a jacket that literally said, "I really don't care, do you?" on a trip to visit children in cages. Subtlety? Not her strong suit. So when she flipped out, she went full nuclear. Imagine the most epic meltdown you've ever seen. Now multiply that by 10 and add a Slovenian accent. One can only imagine her storming through Trump Tower, knocking over golden chairs, screaming at staff, and throwing priceless gaudy decor left and right. Because if there's one thing Melania hates more than being married to Trump, it's being publicly embarrassed for being married to Trump.
Because you think a lot of parents would, encourage their children's kind of high aspirations.
Yes.
But like you told your mom,
When I was a kid, before I wanted to be a comedian, my dream was to be the president of the United States. It's the only real job I ever wanted. Okay? Only time I wanted an office. I wanted to be the president of the United States. And I told my mother, and she's like,
And here's the kicker. Chrisrock's roast wasn't just funny. It was devastatingly accurate. Because at the end of the day, Trump is a man who desperately wants to be feared and respected, but who ends up looking like a rejected extra from a low-budget reality show about failed business moguls. And Melania, she's just waiting for the season finale, where she can finally exit stage left. So what's next for the Trump-Melania saga? Well, if history tells us anything, Trump will never stop being a walking punchline, Chrisrock will keep collecting standing ovations, and Melania? She's got two options: keep dodging his hand-holding attempts or start shopping for divorce attorneys. Either way, one thing's for sure: Chrisrock just handed America its new favorite joke, and for once, Melania might agree.